shakes. He speaks, the mountains smoke. He speaks, kings and queens die. He is the prophet. This is Sollog, Sollog. My website is sollog.com, sollog.com. This video is going to discuss one of my prophecies, the famous 902 prophecy. It was written in September 2nd, 1997, over 19 years ago. 24/7 News is one of the news sites authorized to write about me, so I participate with them and maintain a web page about my prophecies, which is sollog.com. So you go over to 24/7 News at the top, you'll see alternative. They got Alex Jones, a bunch of other stuff like Art Bell, Matt Drudge, and I'm under the alternative. So you just click on Sollog, they'll take you to this page and you'll see prophecies of Sollog, some recent articles, my major hits over the years, reach some feeds from different sites that write about me. So this is the page that I maintain on 24/7 News. I don't write articles on 24/7 News. Other people do that. But I maintain my page. Top article is this New York City Terrorism is the exact date hit for Sollog. You can go over to that article right here. This is the New York City bombing, hits exact day the prophet warned. Some people call me the prophet, some people call me a mystic, psychic, the Nostradamus, whatever you're up to or into, that's what you call me. There's a link to groups on Google, which is time-stamped and maintained by Google. When you click that, you'll be on this page over here. You can see that in Google, there's a time-stamped here, September 6, 97. It's talking about Diana's death and Mother Teresa's death, and I'd written the 902 prophecy. It was connected to these events. So this is the prophecy of 902. This is verbatim, so this is 19 years ago. The exact prophecy was in here, and it's talking about 9/16, a full moon, September 16th, 1997, September 16th, 2016. Both of them were full moon dates. So it's about terrorism, it's about New York City. 4 years after this prophecy was written, you get 9/11 strike. So 9/11 was a partial hit in this prophecy. The terrorism the other day was an exact date, literal hit. I released other prophecies later on about 9/11, so I had some exact date hits for 9/11. This is not an exact date hit, but it's all about terrorism, a big bang in New York City. So yeah, September was the date, the month, and it happened 4 years later, and it happened again 19 years later. Now, besides Google, where you can read here the prophecy, you can go to my sollog.com, and you're on this page, and at the top you'll see there's all kinds of menus. The main menu is prophecies. So when you click prophecies, that takes you onto my prophecy page, and it goes year by year from the beginning when I started in 1995 here up until 97. When that was written, it goes all the way up until 2015 when I stopped writing prophecies. So 2015 I had a huge spurt, put out a bunch. Before that I was only putting out one or two or a couple a year. 2015 I put out a massive amount, like I don't know, a dozen or so prophecies, and then that's it. I don't really feel compelled to write anymore. Handwriting's on the wall. The asteroids coming, humanity's about to be terminated. 99.9% of humanity will be dead soon. So there's nothing more to say but prepare and be in a high place, and maybe you survive. On here, when you go down to my prophecy about 1997, you'll see 902s right there. That takes you right over to the actual prophecy. You can read it was talking about the full moon of the 16th day of the 9th month. So that was 1997. It was also 2016. The 16th day of the 9th month will be another day for terrorism. Bang, it happened. Talks about New York City. Talks about the full moon. Now, a lot of people criticize this prophecy. They say, oh, it has all kinds of misses. Well, every miss in here was a literal or an allegorical hit. First thing it's talking about is Clinton and November of 1997, how within a year from then, he is going to suffer death in his office. Okay? So now people say, oh, Clinton's still walking around now. He never died. Well, he did die. He had political death. He was impeached. And this prophecy was written weeks before the Monica Lewinsky affair even started. So I wrote this prophecy. He then meets Monica Lewinsky, plays around with her with the shikar, leaves his mark on her blue dress. And within a year of the dates I mentioned, he died in office. He was impeached. So people, history will record political death for Bill Clinton. Even though it wasn't ratified by the Senate, he was impeached. That means, his career was killed. He was impeached by Congress, and it happened as this prophecy warned. It wasn't a literal death, but it was an allegorical death. Now, another death that speaks in here, people get confused because I'm talking about a puppet of Satan, a pope, and there's also mentioning of the Pope in Rome. So there's two popes that I'm speaking about, puppet of Satan and the Pope in Rome. And it gives a specific date for the death of a pope. And it was connected to the full moon in 13 days in October of 1997. Now, the full moon in 1997 was October 16th, 13 days later, October 29th. Anton LaVey, a.k.a. the Black Pope, the Pope of Satan, the puppet of Satan, the guy that founded the Church of Satan, his heart exploded on the day this prophecy said. So that's one pope that got killed, according to this prophecy. The second pope that died when this prophecy said was the actual Catholic Pope, John Paul II at that time. We fast forward 7 years to 2005. Before this prophecy was 8 years old, it was 7 years and several months. And on April 2nd, John Paul II died. Well, how does April 2nd connect to 902? Well, in two ways. First of all, most people write a 4. It looks almost like a 9. So 402 is 902 to some, if you look at it quickly. The main thing is, when he died April 2nd, that's the 92nd day of the year. So 902, 92nd, two numbers is right there. He died on the 92nd day. It was the 902 prophecy. Remove the 0, it's the 92 prophecy. So you had two popes die exactly. You had Clinton, death in political office, his impeachment. You had a literal act of terrorism on September 16th, 1997. Not in New York City, but around the world. There was a major act of terrorism that day. And then 19 years later, you have in New York City the biggest terrorism event since 9/11. Now, you can sit here and call this coincidence. Well, people, go back to my prophecy page, and you can see here I've only written about 60 prophecies in my career. They're all time-stamped. You can go find them. And every single one has tons of literal and allegorical here. So, I am doing something no other human has ever done in the history of humanity. I've proven the ability to put future events in my writings. It's more accurate than Nostradamus, more accurate than any of the so-called prophets in any of these holy books. So I'm the real deal. I'm a mystic, psychic, prophet, whatever you want to call it. I'm walking through time and I'm putting details in the event pointing to a historic event after the year 2022. That's when 99.9% of humanity will be terminated in an asteroid strike. Believe it, I don't really care. Just get your butt up to higher ground, and hopefully 0.1% of humanity might survive this asteroid strike. If not, all of humanity is going to be terminated. I really don't care. I just give the message. Humanity either move now to the safe zones or you get destroyed. The asteroid's coming. There's nothing anyone can do about it. It will strike. Humanity will be reduced back to people living in caves. So the planet needs to heal. Humanity is the problem. So humanity will be wiped out. This is Sollog. Read my books. Get to the safe zone. And you better believe my warnings. The fate of humanity depends on it.
Lost all you hold dear.